Well, today we have director Tim Lee. And Tim, we're so happy to have you on our advanced program.
Me too, because I'm very honored to be interviewed. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Well, first, you have a new TV series out.
Yep.
It's available on Line TV and it's also available on PTS.
Yes, it were on screen around the end of March. Yeah, it's about the shipwrecks in Taiwan.
Yes.
I guess most of the people, when they heard that I'm going to do this program, they will ask me, are there any shipwrecks in Taiwan? Actually, there are lots.
And well, before we get into shipwrecks, I want to talk a little bit about your journey into underwater photography and into making a documentary on shipwrecks. How did you get into underwater photography? Like as a director, making films, you did not start out doing this. Like, what was your start, and how did you end up shooting underwater?
Okay, my for my entertainment career, in the beginning I filmed lots of travel shows. It's mostly on land. We say dry, you dry. And
Yes.
I think most people know it's Fun Taiwan.
Yes, Fun Taiwan with
Janet,
and also you did many other funs after Fun Taiwan, right? Yeah.
And then we created a fun series. So
Yes.
not only Taiwan, we also to the Asia, America, and lots of places.
Right.
And one day I think I was in Bali and I'm talking with my diving buddies, and we are saying maybe we should do something different. So why not the diving stuff about the blue world underwater? So fine. So we start the underwater 30 meters. That's the first one. And then the problem is we need an underwater cameraman.
Yes.
But actually there are not lots of underwater cameramen. For the underwater shooting, yes, but for the filming, especially for the program, it's not so many.
There are very few underwater cameramen who can film things underwater.
Yeah, especially for the TV program, because
Right.
it's totally different.
Right.
So I'm thinking we need to train someone. But I have the camera crew, but if I ask them to dive and film, I think it's kind of risk. I don't want to take the responsibility for other people's lives.
In case they have a diving accident while they're filming, then you would be responsible.
Yeah,
you would feel responsible.
I can responsible for myself.
Right.
So I think maybe I can do it because I'm a diver and I love diving. That's
Right.
how I become a underwater cameraman, and also I'm a producer.
Right.
Yeah.
So then from underwater 30 meters,
Meters.
you went on to make another underwater show.
Yeah.
And this underwater show was even more challenging.
More challenge.
Because it's a reality contest.
Yes, aqua challenge. Because for the underwater 30 meters is a travel show.
Right.
Travel show is relax.
Right.
It doesn't matter what you think. The point you enjoy. So no matter the dive site is good or not, we still can show to the audience. But then the aqua challenge is a reality show. Reality show is more difficult because you have to arrange every detail. You have to try to push people to have a strong reaction.
Right. They have to be very extreme in their reaction for the show to be, interesting.
Yeah, and you have only one time chance. You cannot ask the people to act.
Yeah, you cannot say cut, NG,
no.
NG. You just have to the real reaction.
If
Right.
you want them to cry,
Yeah.
you have to arrange everything, every rule, to make her or him cry.
Yeah, you have to make it in a way that they want to cry.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's motive, and also because they have to do the photography underwater, because the story is about the underwater model, free diving model, work with underwater cameraman, so scuba diving cameraman, and to create a photo. So the story from here, and we eliminate people. And on the end of the show, there's only one photographer and one model will win the final prize.
Right.
Yeah.
This is a very interesting concept. And then from there, you decided this time to make a whole documentary about shipwrecks off the coast of Taiwan. Why would you make a documentary about shipwrecks?
Okay. So from the underwater 30 meters to the Aqua Challenge, I dive a lot. All in Taiwan, all over Taiwan, I dive more. I think most of the dives that I've dived 1 or 2 times, even 3 times. And then I found out we have a serious problem about the overfishing. The underwater, Taiwan is an island, right? And suppose we have lots of marine resources, the ocean life, but after like 4 to 5 years diving, I found out we have a very big, serious problem about the environment underwater. So I think maybe I should do something to show people. And most of the underwater documentary is about the coral reef, but I think it's kind of bored.
Right, because it's always the same. The coral reefs are dying. Yes.
And then I'm thinking, actually, the shipwrecks is very unique because shipwrecks should be the home of the marine life in the wild field. There should be lots of life there, like fish or shrimp or crab, like all the marine life. But if the shipwrecks, there's no life there, that means you have very, very bad,
huge problem
about the area, not only the shipwrecks. It means the area, because there should be the best.
So the shipwreck site is basically an indicator of the ecological health of that area. So if there are no fish or very few fish in that shipwreck, where like the fish or the marine life, they go to the shipwreck, they make it their home. So it means there's a serious problem with overfishing. So that was the thought behind your film. And then so you chose shipwrecks because they're a sign of ecological health. And they're also kind of mysterious. Yes, people kind of wonder what happened. Why is there a shipwreck here? What is the origin of the ship?
The shipwrecks, they sunk to the water mostly for 2 reasons only. First is accident, right? Second is on purpose. So we visit not only the shipwrecks accidentally sunk, but also mostly the on purpose.
On purpose. Tell us more about the on purpose shipwrecks. Why would the government on purpose sink a ship?
Because marine life is so poor because of the overfishing. That's why the government, they want to create more shipwrecks to let the fish together to have a home. That's why for the sunken ship on purpose, they choose the sand beach. Mostly the sand beach. They won't put the shipwrecks on the coral reef.
They put it on the sandy beaches.
Yeah, because sandy beach, there's no place for the fish to hide. That's why they choose a sandy beach to sunk the ship. And actually, they not only sunk the ship. Sometimes they will sunk the electric rods, or sometimes they'll use the concrete to create something for the marine life to hide.
So the shipwreck or whatever they sank is to give these marine life a home.
Yes.
And the hope is we're giving them a home where they can have shelter from predators or from the natural environment, that they can populate themselves and make this area healthy again.
So if they want to be a home, so they must have different size of the 空间,
spaces.
The spaces for the different size of fish to hide.
Right.
So the ship is best because there's lots of spaces.
All sorts of big space, small space. It's deep, it's thin, it's tall. Like there's a lot of different spaces.
Especially for the warship. The warship is big.
Right.
And there's lots of space.
Right.
So they sunk when the warship retired. So they will sunk it on certain area, certain place, and try to make it the home of the fish.
Let's talk a little bit about the challenges of filming underwater. Like what are filming an entire documentary all underwater. So you are actually in the film as the lead director, like you are shooting the footage,
Yep.
and you're also inside the film. What are the challenges of shooting underwater?
Okay, that's a good question. And actually, there are lots and lots of challenges. So I would say
Maybe
something.
give the top maybe 3 or 4 challenges.
Okay.
Yeah.
Of course, the top one is environment, right? For the on land, the environment is simple. It's cloudy or the sunny or raining,
Yes.
something like that. But underwater is like still, if the sun is good, the light is good.
Yes.
But still, we also have the wave
Yes.
on the surface.
Yes. You have the currents.
Yeah,
too.
the wave and the currents.
Mm.
The currents is underwater.
Right.
The wave is on the surface.
It's on the surface, right?
Yes. Sometimes when you jump, when the big waves jump, it's no problem. But when you back to the boat, it's
Right.
a huge problem.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So underwater we have the current and also the visibility.
Hmm.
Like when the visibility is bad, I cannot see you from here. From this distance, I cannot see you. Then I cannot film at all.
Yes, and you actually mentioned to me before we started filming this that
Yeah.
another challenge would be the communication underneath the water,
And the
because
communication.
you are the lead cameraman, but you also have other cameramen working with you to
Mhm.
get all the different angles and different shots.
Yeah.
But once you're under the water, how do you communicate with your other cameraman?
Yeah, so when we do the underwater, this documentary, I have a full mask. I can talk with the presenter.
Yes.
We both have full mask,
Yeah.
so we can communicate each other. But for the other cameraman, because I have like 3 cameramen, include me, so I cannot communicate with them. So you have to how to say that 默契.
Well, that's a really good question. 默契. Well, maybe we can say we compatibility or teamwork skills.
Yeah.
This word is very hard to translate.
Yeah, it's
English.
really hard
默契.
to- yeah.
It's really
Yeah.
we sometimes say chemistry, that we have good chemistry. I guess maybe chemistry could be a similar concept. We have
Right.
good chemistry. But you need to have good chemistry with the other cameraman,
Yeah,
because
so
you can't talk, they can't
We-
hear you.
we cannot talk all the way because I'm kind of one of the presenters,
Yes.
and then always talk. So they must know what I'm filming about,
Right.
what we are talking about. So like when I was filming the close-up shot, they cannot do the same shots,
Right.
same size with me.
Right.
They need to know what size and what frame they have to film. That's what I say. You say the chemistry.
Yeah.
Now we cannot communicate all the way, and also when we have the current, it's even harder to communicate because we were in a different place, try to conquer the current. Yeah, so communication is a big problem. So most of the time we have to communicate before we dive. We have to
Right.
talk. Then we say how we dive, what's the path, the direction, and the cabin I will get in, and you have to stay outside, or you have to move to other side, and then we jump. But the situation, it won't be the
exactly
Yeah,
as
yeah.
you think. Like
Yeah.
it's in English we use the term it's fluid.
Mm.
Everything is very fluid. The situation is fluid. When you're under the water, the situation is fluid.
It's always changing.
It's always changing.
Yeah.
So you're constantly having to change as the situation changes.
Yeah. So you have to respond to the situation quickly. I think that's also very difficult.
Right.
And sometimes because the current and the visibility is bad, current is strong, and there's last cabin, we will separate.
Ah, okay.
Like sometimes we have 3 men.
Right. And one disappears.
Suppose we have to go back to service together,
Right.
but sometimes we just separate
Right.
to 3 different
Directions.
places. Yeah.
Right.
Then at the time you have to be calm, very calm. You know how to deal with that. You know how to get back to the surface safely.
Right.
That's also kind of a challenge. Yeah. So every diver under my colleague must be a very well experienced diver,
Right.
and can
Also a good cameraman.
Also
because you have to
cameraman.
hold the camera steady
Yeah.
underwater.
because you are right. Underwater there's no tripod.
Right.
You are the tripod.
You are the tripod.
And there's no like crane or like the dolly, and you are everything.
Right.
So you have to move steady, and underwater is when you are trying to up or down. It's not by kicking because kicking will make you unstable.
Right.
So you have to use your breath, like you breathe.
Right.
Then you go
so
up.
when you breathe, you move forward.
No.
No.
When you breathe, you flow up. When you
when you blow out the air.
you
Yeah.
down. So
Yeah.
when you stay buoyant, you
Yeah.
stay there.
So
you don't
be
have to kick.
stable.
You are stable. You
You
just
are
stay there
stable.
on a certain depth. So use your lung to keep your buoyancy to be, we say the zero buoyancy.
Zero buoyancy.
Yeah.
You have to keep at zero buoyancy so that you are completely still.
It's completely still. And when you're kicking, you cannot kick like this. You have to kick like very slow and very smooth.
Right, right.
Make your camera won't be shaky like this. Because if you're kicking very hard, your camera very shaky.
Will be very shaky. That
Yeah.
sounds really tough. Like you must have a really hard time
Yeah.
finding good cameramen who also happen to be experienced divers.
Yeah.
It's extremely challenging. So I think that makes the TV series even more worth watching when you know how hard it is to go shoot a series like this. Like how difficult it is when you cannot be underwater for a long period of time in most cases.
Yeah.
And then you have to come up. The next question I want to ask is, out of, like you went to many different places to shoot this TV series, and out of all these places, is there one that is really memorable, like unforgettable?
Yeah.
Like which site out of all the ones you went to was truly unforgettable?
The last episode we want to find we want to dive to the shipwrecks that nobody visited, because most of shipwrecks we film is one somehow 多少
Right.
some people visit before,
Right.
but we want to find one, never ever. So we use the sonar from the surface, try to figure out where is the shipwrecks. Then we found I think it's two. In the beginning we think it's two shipwrecks, but when we dive we found it's one actually. So it's a huge one.
It's a very big ship.
Very big ships. That's why you thought it's two, because the head and tail, and the middle part is like a break to pieces.
Broken half.
Yeah, and then that shipwrecks we found out there's lots of mask, right? That's a tough word. Yeah,
Yes.
mask.
Mast. M-A-S-T, dear
Yeah,
viewers.
and
Mast. This is
mast.
a word that I also learned for the first time today because I had to look it up. The mast. This is what holds up the sails of the ship. So this ship is very old because it had sails.
Yeah, they have sails, and they also have the steam. I would say the engine for the rope, so they can have the rope to control the rope, to control the sail, right? So there are lots of this kind of engine, and then I think back to the history. I think is over 100 years old.
So this ship is over 100 years old,
Yeah.
and it sank into the bottom of the
Yeah,
ocean.
and I think it's accidentally sunk to the
To the
ocean.
bottom, right?
Yeah, and I checked the history, the document is said around end of the 19th century, like
19th century. So this is the
19
late
something.
1800s.
Yeah,
late 1800s.
Late 18th century, there's two very big cargo ships sunk nearby. One is from Norway, one I think is from British. So that's very interesting. And then
Yes.
I keep digging. I found out the engine. I said the engine for the rope, control the rope, it's kind of similar to the Titanic.
Wow.
Yeah.
Right. So that dates the ship. That's
Yeah.
probably in around the same period because the make of the ship is very similar.
Yeah. So for me, for myself, I really
It's unforgettable because out of making this movie, you actually discovered a new shipwreck.
Yeah.
So this is one that nobody's ever been to.
Yes.
You guys were the first ones.
Yeah, and you can tell since there's nobody visits there, so the marine life there is so good.
Right.
There are lots of different fish because when we say the environment is good, it's not only about how many fish, but also how many different kinds
of fish. The variety.
Variety.
What is the
yes.
variety at that location?
Yeah. And you can tell easily some shipwrecks which is overfishing, even there's lots of fish, there's only one species of fish. But for that one, there's nobody visited before. There's so many different kinds of fish. Some fish, my dive guy said it's very expensive.
Very expensive.
For the market, you know.
Right.
Yeah, so that ship, I really want to know
more about this ship.
For the future.
Yeah, so maybe that's a future movie.
Yeah, I want to work with how to say that? 考古学者.
Archaeologists.
Archaeologists.
Yeah,
I want to work
work of archaeologists to find out the history behind the ship and how it sank.
Maybe there's treasure under, right?
Perhaps. Maybe it's a pirate ship.
Yeah, who knows?
We don't know.
Yeah.
This makes it really fun and interesting.
Yeah, that's very unforgettable for that ship. Yeah.
This is really unforgettable. And then I want to move on to, so you released the TV series, like you released this, it's also streaming online. You released the series and then you hope to make this into a movie that will come out later this year.
Yeah.
And the idea behind making it into a movie as well as a TV series is so that as many people will see it as possible. Perhaps like 看见台湾.
Yeah.
When people saw 看见台湾, then people understand the environmental state of this island. So this is like your hope, like for more people to have awareness.
Yeah. For the Taiwanese people, because Taiwan is an island, I think all the Taiwanese people must know about the ocean because we are island, right? But actually, because of history, we are not so familiar with the ocean. So we just take resources from the ocean. So we have a very bad problem about overfishing. For the past 6 years, I saw the underwater world all over Taiwan. I found out it's a very, very big problem. That's why I say the ocean in Taiwan already entered the emergency room. You know?
So the ocean is in a critical condition.
Yes.
So right now it's in the emergency room, and by making this film, by making this TV series, you hope that more people will be aware of this problem.
Okay. I want to show them the environment. You can see it. I don't want to teach people, you know. I know people hate to
being
be
taught. Yes, we don't like being told.
Yeah, or like to be, like I say, older. You don't do that.
Don't do that.
Yes, I just want to show them the real. Just like when I go diving, there's a fisherman on the surface.
Yeah.
And there a whole bunch of fishermen.
Yeah, many people fishing.
Yeah, but actually there are no
there's
fish.
no fish underneath. Yeah.
Yeah, so if they know there's no fish under,
right,
they won't go fishing, right?
They won't go fishing. Yes.
Yeah, the same. I think if people know that the underwater world is so, I say the critical, the environment is so
critical condition.
I think maybe people start to think by themselves how to deal with this kind of.
That's true, and then maybe they will take more actions to protect the oceans.
Yeah.
And protecting oceans is very important because June 8 is World Oceans Day.
Yes.
And we hope using World Oceans Day to raise awareness, not just here in Taiwan, but around the world, the importance of taking action to protect these oceans. So you can continue diving. Yeah, and hopefully
actually, I love diving.
You love diving, yes. You told me off air that you're also a diving instructor on the side.
Yes, yeah. I want to, since I'm so involved to the diving for so many years, I think maybe it's time to have an instructor, then I can take more friends, my friends, to the blue world, to the underwater world. So I got the petty system of the instructor. And I told mostly my friends.
Yes. So this is a hobby.
Yeah.
Yes, I think you need to keep your job of making movies.
Yeah.
Like making movies is your real job.
Yeah, that's my real job.
And then being a diving instructor is a fun hobby.
It's a fun hobby and for friendship.
Yes, making more friends.
Yeah.
Making more friends. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have one last thing you would like to tell our viewers today? Is there anything else you would like to tell them?
Mhm.
Like one word of encouraging word, or just anything you'd like to say to our viewers?
For the people, I think for the viewers, I would encourage them to do something that's more adventure. Maybe it's not diving,
Right.
but don't just stay in your comfort zone.
Oh, I love that.
Sometimes you have
fantastic.
to get away of the comfort zone. Try to find something different.
Do something different.
Yeah.
And that will make life much more beautiful.
Yes.
Yes. Tim, thank
Yeah.
you so much for
You're
coming on our program today.
You're welcome.
And thank you for helping us know the state of Taiwan's ocean. And hopefully this month, June, World Oceans Day, we will all take more actions
Yeah.
to improve the state of the ocean.
Yeah. Let's do some real action to our ocean.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.